before we head to Batu on this Disneyland Show episode, make sure you guys send us an email to tdspodcast1@gmail.com with your thoughts on rides, thoughts on lands, questions about Disneyland, anything like that, where we will hopefully answer those questions, reply to those emails on air. So send us an email to tdspodcast1@gmail.com. Also check us out on Instagram for updates as to when our episodes are coming out, when our episodes actually do come out, polls, trivia, etc., stuff like that. That is the Disneyland Show podcast. Now, let's travel to Batu.
Oh, there.
All right.
Okay.
So, this is talk.
Yes.
So, yeah. So do you want to introduce yourself first, and then
I am Adam with a new microphone where you can actually understand me talking now.
And I'm Nathan with the same microphone as usual.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right, so this is our official Galaxy's Edge talk. This is just after opening, so
We had to wait a bit for some videos to get out to get our research because we couldn't go opening week, sadly.
yeah, we're not even going to be going for like 8 months. So
Yeah.
F.
Better late than never, though.
Yeah, at least we'll be seeing it within the first year. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a positive to a negative.
Probably without Rise of the Resistance, though. But who cares?
Yeah, I mean, Rise, either way, it's going to be good, and whatever. I mean, get it when you get it.
I'd rather just go when one ride's open, experience it all.
Yeah.
It gets too hectic.
Yeah, exactly. So, in case you're new here, make sure you check us out and send us an email to tdspodcast1@gmail.com where we will answer your questions, talk about questions, etc., etc. So send us an email over there. Also check us out on Instagram, the Disneyland Show podcast,
And on
where we
YouTube.
post stuff. And on YouTube, Disneyland Show, of course.
We haven't posted on there yet, but we have some stuff in the works.
Yes. Yeah, we do. Should be happening over the summer, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so should we just get right down and dirty to the Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah.
All right, so talk about the entrances first. Yeah, entrances.
First. Yeah, entrances. So there's one. We got the two. There's two of them, I believe.
Yeah, or there's 3 entrances in total, which
two main.
Yeah, there's two main ones in Frontierland. And then there's one over to the side off of Critter Country, which takes you right into the Resistance supply area.
Which is perfect for me because it'll be on the way to Splash
Yeah,
Mountain.
you haven't been on that yet, so just hop on Splash when you're going over to Galaxy's Edge.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you've noticed this. I heard a couple people on YouTube talking about it, but they designed the entrances to make it feel like one of the swiping transitions from the movies.
Yeah, I heard that too. Like all of a sudden it just changes.
Do you think they did a good job with that?
Yeah, I think it's good.
I can't notice it, honestly.
To be honest, it looks like every pathway, in my opinion, because most pathways in Disney World, I think, has more of the transition, but that's Disneyland's charm. It just has a quick switch.
Yeah,
right
exactly. I think that where the main pathway switches is when you're actually in Galaxy's Edge. When it switches, when you go from the bazaar to the supply area and back again, but I mean, it's the entrances. At least they widen as you get in. So
yeah, which is good because that's going to be one of the most crowded places in Disneyland.
Definitely, yeah, it's insane.
That's why it's better just to go there as soon as you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if you have the opportunity now, don't wait for Rise of the Resistance. It's just going to get too busy.
Yeah, and go when you absolutely have to, or when you can. Because right now, at time of recording, it's currently a 90-minute wait for Smuggler's Run. which we'll be talking about later.
Which is
yeah.
yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much all we have to talk about the entrances. There's really only 3, and they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah, the only difference is one of them with resistance areas.
Yeah, one of them is on the other side of the park, and then 2 are in sort of the main area, still off to the side, though. All right, so next on the chopping block, we're going to actually talk about the Outpost. So that's the Critter Country entrance area. Yes. Which the theming here is just great. Yeah, they have speakers around where you can,
hear ships.
Yeah, you can hear takeoffs, you can hear landings, you can hear little bugs flying. It's great.
I know. Even the attention to detail, you just don't hear ships loud. Like, you hear it, like, you know how you have cars driving outside your house, right? Yeah, it's that effect where it's quiet, loud, then back to quiet and fades away, which I think is just genius.
It really adds to the atmosphere and the tone and everything of this really outpost, galaxy, supply area, it's genius.
It's good because it's not like Naboo. It's a filthy place.
Yeah, exactly. This is really just rhymed, just dirty and lived in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, this is also where Rise is going to be located. But this is also the place where you can see some full model ships at the...
There's the X-Wing.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have liked to see a red leader.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand why they went for blue, because this is based off 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, it's based off the new trilogy. Whatever.
It's still an insane land. I'm not going to care about that tiny little thing.
Yeah. This is the main area where this is like the Disneyland area where you get your little cheap plastic made in China garbage souvenirs, honestly. Cheap and...
Well, I mean, not necessarily, because they have the cheap stuff, but I'll be honest, so does the main First Order store.
Yeah.
But they also got the Rebel pilot gear, like the helmets and the outfits. So it does make sense because, as I'll be mentioning later, the story, like, the Resistance, like always, is forced into hiding. So they're not going to have this big shop like, hey, look over here. They're going to have tiny little kiosks to show. So, like, hey, look, you want to buy some Resistance stuff? Just don't make it too obvious so we don't get caught by the First Order.
Yeah. Yeah. But hopefully they're probably going to add a little more to it because there's really only 2 or 3 kiosks set up right now.
They will for Rise of the Resistance.
I mean, they'll probably also have some Rise merch come out. I mean, that's with really every Disneyland ride. They at least have one shirt. But let's just quickly mention the full model, the scale stuff again. Where the right now, they have They have 2 Resistance ships available to look at.
They got the X-Wing and the A-Wing.
Yeah, they have both.
Which, in the Star Wars lore, like, I don't know if you know this, but, like, some, like, not just movies, but, like, TV shows and stuff, too. Like, I love how the A-Wings, they're also partially made out of wood, because the Rebels were under, restraints, and they only had a limited amount of resources. I'm not sure if this is true, but I've heard this, and even if it's not true, I just think it's a cool theory type thing. Like, they actually made parts of it out of wood just to give it that look.
I heard that too. Yeah.
Even if it's not true, it doesn't matter. I still enjoy it because it's just that little nod to the Star Wars fans.
Yeah, and then the X-Wing, of course, is just typical X-Wing. They made it out of metal and stuff. You can't get close to them, of course, but you can still get a good photo op. All right, so is that pretty much all we want to talk about there? Because there's not a lot to it there.
That's just yeah, we should probably make our way onto, like, the bigger, like, the the
Oh
bazaar.
yeah, this is the main meat of Galaxy's Edge.
The main shopping
yeah,
session.
the really big. This is where the theming and the immersive, nature of this land really comes in. So,
And then with Sally's and Joy Depot.
Yeah, which we'll be talking
That's
about.
where they're located.
Yeah.
Later.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right, so now let's move on to the bazaar.
Okay, so they got I'm not sure. They don't have like a full on restaurant. They just have how do I say this? They just have like mini little like food stands there, right?
Well, they do have the Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo, and then they have Ronto Roasters, they're not like sit down restaurants.
No, they're not like what's that place? They're not like the restaurants in New Orleans. They're not Blue Bayou. They're just like quick meals that you eat. Kind of like original Bengal
Yeah,
barbecue.
exactly. They're little ones. It's like oh shoot, the restaurant next to Soarin' in California Adventure. What's it called? It's where you I think it's Smoke Jumper's Grill. Where you kind of, it's really quick. You're in and out, find spots to sit in. Yeah.
Just want a quick meal in the area that you're going to explore soon.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the only two real main food things right now. But of course, you still got your little stands and shops around. But yeah, then they're located in the main bazaar area, closest to Smuggler's Run. Just at the back right and left hand corners if you're walking in from the Resistance Supply outpost area. So should we talk about...
Not gonna lie, they're really gonna have to update that Resistance area though, because I'm not seeing a lot of business happening there.
Yeah. I mean, when Rise comes out, there's going to be a lot of people going. But right now, this is more just an atmospheric walk. Getting to the main meat.
But just in general, though, because, most kids, they're not going to want... majority of them is going to want, like, Imperial First Order stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe I just like the bad guys.
I mean, they're pretty dope. Pretty dope. But, I mean, you still got your soft spot for the Resistance and
because that's the characters.
Yeah. All right, so should we talk about some of the shops that are in this?
I think we should.
So there's really 3 main ones in this area.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't including lightsaber droids.
No,
right?
This is just like if you're looking at it from the map, this would be on the left-hand section.
Yeah, because they got this is just smaller shops, but the shops in this section, like smaller souvenirs that you're gonna buy, like T-shirts or like plushes and stuff.
Yeah, so that's like the Toy Dairy and Toy Maker and the Black Spire Outfitters and small stuff like that. I think the creature stall. It kind of sounds like a bathroom. I'm on the map right now, so.
I'm not entirely sure if it is because I'm not exactly sure of the shop, but I know as a fact they had a mini Sarlacc in it, and they also had a bunch of like they had a bunch of I think I have Minecraft on my mind. They have a bunch of like creature plushes as well. Like they got Porgs, they got Salacious Crumb, right? If you don't know who he is, he's that little like monkey thing that sits next to Jabba.
Creatures.
And laughs all the time.
Oh yeah, it's an actual little shop. Yeah, they have animatronics and
like the Porg and Porg.
Yeah, this is like the animal plush zone. So keeping that in mind, there's then also the Jewels of Bith, which I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have no clue what that is.
No, I think you remember the model. Remember when we were watching the live stream and we saw the lightsabers?
Yeah.
And we thought that was Savvy's, but it wasn't. Those are just like models of the original Jedi and Siths of the past, like Count Dooku, Grievous, all that stuff. I feel like that's where it is.
Yeah, that's also an extension of the Doc Ondars or Onders, whatever, Den of Antiquities. I think that's where they were actually. But I think you're right with that, where it's sort of an extension of that. Okay, let's see. I'm just looking it up right now. Okay, yeah, it's another one of those little shops. Yeah, you're right. They have a lot of expensive looking things in there. They still got the pins
but
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that you can buy any of those like lightsabers.
The ones you build?
No, not the buildables. The collectibles.
I think you can, but they're expensive.
Like, do you think? Because I'm just basing this off of my ideas. Do you think they'd be more expensive or less expensive than the build your own?
Ooh.
Because you're not getting the experience as well, but they're like exact models.
Yeah. I think they'd be more expensive, just because they're models. But then at the same time, there's also that mindset where you'd think it'd be less expensive.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you could, if you had the pieces, you could make a model of a former Jedi's in Savvy's.
Yeah.
Because some of the pieces look identical to, say, like, Luke Skywalker's green lightsaber from episode 6.
Yeah, Mace Windu's in the prequels.
Yeah. Darth Vader's as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think they'd be more expensive.
Yeah, and they don't have, and that's like they're trying to make it so like, no, it's more for the high end shoppers that are maybe not necessarily Disney fans, more or less just Star Wars fans trying to buy anything they can to show their Star Wars appreciation.
Yeah, yeah. They're just trying to just trying to give them money so they can go home and brag to, hey, look what I have. I have this very expensive thing from Disneyland. All right, so should we let's Kat Saka's Kettle. Have you heard of that?
I have.
All right,
not.
So let's just skip that.
Like, I know I've seen all the shops, but it's just a matter of I didn't really look at their names all that much.
Mm-hmm. Just by that title, though, I would think that it's more of an extension of the creature stall, maybe with a couple extra shirts and little knickknacks that you can find probably at the...
Different, but not too different.
Yeah, more of the same, pretty much. But just before we move on to the other side of the... hopping over to the other side of the bazaar, going over to that little first order cargo area and over to that main section of the bazaar, just quickly talk about the theming and the architecture here, because holy crap.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely, it just engulfs you. You really feel like you're in Star Wars. It's incredible.
And I think some people say that they wanted a clean planet like Naboo, Alderaan. No, because if you think about majority of planets on Star Wars, like filthy, rundown, or just nature-centric, like Endor, Hoth, Tatooine, Jakku in these new movies. Yeah, that's where everyone starts their story. And when I start talking about the story of Galaxy's Edge, it'll make more sense why they have a place that looks like a planet where all the main characters start off their stories.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly think this is the best that I think Disney could do. And it's beautiful what they do, even though it is incredibly run down. All right, so should we
That's what makes it better.
Yeah, it adds another dimension to it, and with a clean planet, that dimension would be missing. So should we hop over to the other side here, where we have the some of the main shop areas, which we will.
The big tickets.
Yeah, this is where the stuff that you're really going to want to check out. But we're going to be talking about those shops separately. But let's quickly talk about the first order cargo area, which is located right when you walk in from the backside of the Matterhorn closest to Fantasyland. So that little area where they have the Kylo Ren's ship.
Kylo Ren's ship,
which isn't really his ship. But
no, because he has that. Because if they made his ship, it would be too big.
It would be freaking massive.
They were trying to make like single pilot to 2 pilot quick fighters.
Yeah, they're making them small and accessible. But I mean, this is another area where it somewhat shifts from the bazaar into this more clean, flat-looking area. But it looks great. Still looks great. I think they have like a shop here for the first order shop.
They have a big Imperial shop.
Yeah.
Like, they don't have like small little kiosks because the first order runs this place. So they have one big shop.
Yeah, that's their own land. Let's also talk about the milk stand really quickly.
$8 for a thing of milk. You could buy 2% milk at Safeway for $2 a liter.
Yep, overpriced as hell, but apparently it's good.
I've heard people it's weird because everyone has their own opinions. I've heard some people saying that majority of people are saying blue milk's better. But according to Offhand Disney, blue milk tastes like drinkable blue gummy worms. So
yeah.
I don't really know what to expect.
It's definitely going to be weird because, I mean, from what I've heard, it's more of a slushie. A Slurpee at 7-Eleven than it is actual milk. But it looks somewhat appetizing. I mean,
it's something that you have to try just to try. It's $8, so majority of people probably wouldn't have it again. But something that you should try because you're there.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's Disneyland. It's like you have to try out at least once in your life a churro or a mint julep or something.
Dole Whip.
All right. Is that pretty much everything we want to talk about before we get into individually, like the cantina and stuff? I mean, there is the Doc on Dar's Den of Antiquities, but that's pretty much expensive, high-end.
If we have more time, we'll come back to those smaller shops if we need to.
All right. So let's move on to the cantina then, with DJ Rex himself.
Rex, you've heard me say this as many times, like at least 3 times, like each day that Galaxy's Edge was open. Rex is my favorite character from Disney that was made just for a Disney ride. I don't care. Rex, I wish he was in Star Tours again. Rex is my favorite character in a Disney park.
Yeah.
And they brought the yellow one. That's my favorite color. It makes it even better.
It's definitely cool. It's really neat. And they have him, DJing it up in the cantina, so.
Or rebooting into starting up his old this is Captain Rex in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Or and then the original Star Tours like do for when the doors open.
It's awesome. The little nods like that Disney fans would recognize. But let's talk about the cantina itself, because the cantina is very interesting, even though of course we haven't been in it since we're minors, but
Yeah. And a lot of people, our younger viewers, would probably enjoy us talking about it because they too cannot get in for a while.
Yeah.
So what's the limit? Because like in America and Canada, there's different drinking ages. Is it 18 or is it 21?
I believe it's 21.
Okay, so
I'm gonna actually look it up right now.
That's
California.
I I would enjoy it if it was 18, to be honest.
Yeah. It might be 18, actually.
I think I heard someone say it was 18.
18 for beer, 21 for wine or spirits.
Oh, so 18 to get into the cantina.
Yeah, which is okay.
So, that means my brother could probably get it. Yeah, because if we go, I'm just thinking something here. If I go, like, first week January, then, yeah, because his birthday, yeah, so he'd be able to get in. He could take some videos of Rex flying.
Yeah. But the theming and the overall atmosphere in the cantina is just it's beautiful. Yeah, it actually looks identical.
Yeah.
It's unreal what they've been able to do.
And you're probably going to hear us saying that a lot, but you have to be honest yourself. It's insane how much they've been doing to make this look like just beautiful compared to like the source material from like episode 4.
Yeah.
Identical.
Yeah, it's photorealistic. It's great. And of course, when we talk about Smuggler's Run, talking about the Falcon, that's a whole other story right there. But the cantina, it's great, and if you're over 18 or whatever the age you can to get in, since we don't live in California, let us know what you think, because it's a special place. Even though you're probably going to get drunk in there. But you can only stay in there for 40 minutes, though. It's a 40-minute limit because they'll have a beeline.
40 minutes for like a 2-hour wait.
Yeah, not worth it. In my mind, wait till the crowds die down for that. But
in my mind, I still personally, I don't think it's right. I think they shouldn't serve alcohol in a Disney park.
Really?
Like, in my opinion, you're in Disneyland. Do you need to get drunk?
I mean, if you're in Club 33, you gotta get drunk.
Well, if you're in Club 33, then I'll give you $1 million, Nathan. But you probably won't need it because I'll probably be rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like, but at the same time, if you like it, go for it. I personally didn't think that they should have alcohol, but hey, at least alcohol in the parks brought Rex back.
Yeah. Anything to bring Rex back. Rex back is a plus.
I was even so excited when he came back into the when he was just in the queue in Star Wars in Star Tours. I was just happy there too.
So good.
Well, we should probably move on before I make this a Rex fan club podcast.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Droid Depot next. Now, droids versus lightsabers. What would you pick?
Lightsabers. You're paying for the experience as well.
Yeah, me too. Lightsabers. Let's talk about the Droid Depot though first. So,
still a really insane place.
It's great. It's really good in there, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a remote control droid you're building.
I'll say this: if you have the money, get lightsaber. If you have the money for both, get both, obviously.
But if you're a bit short for the lightsaber, go for the droid. Because, I mean, it's still something you can only get in Galaxy's Edge. So, you go in, and it's this little queue line. It's basically, you're in a Disneyland line. Except this line you pay. You go in and pay. So then, I think, on the way as you're walking down the queue, you can pick up accessories for the droid you're going to build. Is that... Yeah. So...
There's blasters. They have majority of them are astromech because, in my opinion, majority of people will probably be going for astromech.
Yeah.
But because they got blasters for astromech, they have... Because if you think... Wait. They have blasters for astromech. They have, remember, Slave R2... or Bartender R2-D2? They have that as well for the astromechs. But... how are they going to make any accessories for BB-8 models? Because if you have something on the side, it's not going to work because when it's rolling around.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think you can buy antennas, but that's a waste of money.
You could buy an antenna for an R2 unit if you want.
Yeah, I mean that's another topic of conversation. But I mean, you walk down and you basically pay. It's a queue to pay.
Yeah.
And then you get your basket, or you tell them what you want to build, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you tell them which model you want to build. Then they give you the basket with the instructions inside of them how to build whichever model you choose. There's an R2 model and there's a BB model.
Yeah, BB.
R model and a BB model.
Yeah,
sure.
it's a R2 model,
for
BB.
R2D2 and BB.
Yeah. So then you walk over to the main area of the droid depot, the conveyor belt, which is pretty cool.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be cool if they renovated the Star Tours one with the mini droids and had it like the droid.
Oh depot. Yeah.
But and it's cool though, because I built the miniature droid at Star Tours, and it's cool seeing how if I really wanted to, which I'd get a lightsaber instead, but if I wanted to, I could build the droid because they had the exact same parts there.
Yeah. I mean, the conveyor belt is just the design of it is really cool because it's not really a straight line. It kind of swerves around and stuff's hitting each other. It's really messy, but they made it that way.
Like, it's messy because that's the design of it.
Yeah, that's what they intended. So then you get your parts, you put them in your basket, then you go, I think you go into another line to actually get to a stand or station.
Yeah.
Where you can assemble your droid, where you screw it all together. Screw it together and, clip things on. And if you buy accessories like the personality chip, that's, you put that in there.
But I think you gotta buy a personality chip.
Of course.
If you're gonna make a droid.
Yeah, if you don't buy the personality chip, it's a waste of $100.
Yeah. I've heard that the B models are harder to make. I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, because you have to get more parts because you have a motor separate than the actual body of it. So.
And then you gotta put the thing in the things, I don't know what they're called, in the actual body part, so the head is able to stay on.
Like the magnet? Yeah, it's a bit more complicated, but at the end of the day, you're pretty much getting the same experience. And then you activate it by putting it in this little box thing, this chamber, and it all lights up and connects your remote device to the droid, and then you drive it around. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then they give you like a Build-A-Bear type box.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a bit funny though. Why wouldn't you let them drive around Galaxy's Edge? Or why wouldn't you have like a designated droid driving zone where you can...
Yeah, like a dog.
Yeah. Yeah, you can have, if you have a personality chip, have them interact and stuff.
Well, I guess if it's a quieter day in like, 5 years, I guess you could. But for now, I just wouldn't risk it. Like, I wouldn't want to get the treads all ruined with the sand in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, still, you're paying for a good experience, and the droids itself, sure, it might be plastic, but it's Disneyland plastic.
Yes.
So should we talk about the main attraction? One of the main attractions, the Savi's workshop.
I was skeptical, but then I saw the video and I'm like, okay, this is worth every single dollar you're putting into this $200 lightsaber.
Oh my god!
Like, it's metal, the experience, the fact that you can take the original ones in Star Tours, you would just have to leave the blade on. The fact that you could take the blade off and just carry around a hilt, which I loved doing as a kid with my little plastic lightsaber. I would just walk around with a hilt on my belt strap.
It's awesome. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so they have the people the cast member there actually tell you a story, pretty much.
And how you can't tell the First Order where you found these, or like you're screwed.
Yeah, you're gonna pretty much be killed.
Which is
it's just the way that they've done it, where they can have each cast member interact. And then they let each other know who told who and who did what. It's awesome.
And the fact that the stormtroopers play a lot, even the stormtroopers, they'll play along. They see you walking around with it. That's why if I get the lightsaber, if I don't turn it on right away, if I see a stormtrooper Kylo Ren walking by, because I'm getting a green one, I'm getting green defense. I already planned it out. As a fact, I'm gonna turn it on. And I'm gonna let them talk because the stormtroopers have some of the funniest interactions in Disney.
Yeah, I just want to tell them that they have horrible aim and they should go to shooting school or something, or shooting range.
And practice on each other.
Yeah, see who can kill each other first. Oh man, it's cool though. I mean, they have the people tell a story. They tell you about the kyber crystal. They tell you about how in the wrong hands it could be used for evil, and choose wisely.
They let you. It's like immersive. It's not like which color do you want. Essentially, it is which color do you want. But at the same time, they change it up to like, okay, now close your eyes. Whatever color you see, pick that crystal.
Yeah, it's awesome. Oh, it's so good. And then that's when you get your parts, where they tailor it to they tailor the hilt parts to your kyber crystal.
And there's specific places, like you got to put your kyber crystal on a specific stand while you wait for your tray of parts. Then when you're done, you put the hilt on that little stand before the cast members come around, and they shove it in the crystal stabilizer.
Yeah, like the stabilization chamber, whatever the heck they call it. And then
I found it was just so beautiful, and they all lit up, and you all just pull them out at the same time,
so
and you swing it around,
and then everybody's like
hearing the noises,
crying and screaming with joy. It's so good. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, don't want to spoil the entire thing because it's a pretty important experience, but
if you want us to, we could essentially make a review on it, but
we have to be there.
So we could do one, but we'd rather have one when we're actually experiencing it.
Mm-hmm.
Droid Depot, we didn't really care for it. We cared for it, but we didn't really care about describing it because the lightsaber experience. This is like some people's dream.
Yeah, building your own.
And the fact that you can actually be like a canon Star Wars character now.
Yeah, and they actually tell you you're a Jedi and everything. It's awesome. With the Play Disney Parks app, you build your profile.
Yeah, and this is where I'd probably be a smuggler because not all Jedis have to join Resistance or what's it called? Or
I'd probably be a smuggler too. So,
that's what I was saying before. How do I call it? How you get it, they have the sandy and dirty area because you're choosing your story. This is where your story begins. They're kind of making this world out like it's based around you. You're the main character in this world, and everyone else is just side characters. This is like your story. You're starring in this next movie.
Your destiny.
Yeah.
So
you're the next Luke Skywalker.
Yeah. And speaking of smugglers, let's get to Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run.
Which we'll be making a Rides at Disneyland Resort episode separately, but I mean, we'll talk about our thoughts here and the actual ride itself because, wow.
That's the main attraction. It's
it is so good.
Even if it wasn't an attraction, a ride, the Falcon alone, I could see myself waiting like an hour-long line just to go into the Falcon.
Yeah, so after you get your card, like your roll in the ride, you get let loose into the actual Falcon where you can walk around. You can go to the chess area.
Yeah, it's that room where Chewie and R2 were playing space chess and or holo chess.
I think it's holo chess.
And, and Obi-Wan was teaching Luke how to use the Force with the blast helmet. It's just that room, plus the hallways. Mm-hmm. But just that room alone, plus all the hallways with all the wires showing.
Oh.
It just looks insane.
It's beautiful. It really it really looks like the Falcon.
Yeah.
It really looks like the Falcon. It's so good. And then your group gets called, and then you go into the cockpit. Oh,
that's why another reason I want to go sooner than later, because I don't want to get some like idiotic like Californian with their friend.
Mm-hmm.
With like, you know how I'm not being mean to Californians. I'm saying, you know how what's it called? Californians, majority of them have a free
annual pass holders.
Annual pass, yeah. So if they would go because they can go anytime they want, and they could just decide, hey, look, we're both pilots. Do you want to just screw everyone over and drive all over the place?
Yeah, because they can do it again.
That's another reason why I want to go there as soon as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another thing, I believe we both share the exact role order we want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pilot, because who didn't want to pilot the Falcon as a kid?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Next we have engineer.
Yep, that's engineer next.
At first, I thought gunner was going to be the second one I wanted to do. An engineer was just some throw-in that they put in just to make people like, hey, look, there's still something for you to do.
Yeah.
But I'm actually kind of disappointed with gunner. They did an insane job with engineer. Gunner was a letdown.
Oh my god, yeah. Like I completely.
It's like what, 1 or 2 buttons. It's not even like the turret handles, like everyone thought it would be.
It's literally just a big red button. It's stupid. I mean, I don't like saying that about Disneyland, but it's dumb.
Only Disney World.
Yeah, when Galaxy's Edge comes out in Disney World, we can trash that. But same land.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Actually, I hope Disneyland. I wish Disneyland had it for itself. Just something that Disneyland could say, "Hey, look, we're the smallest one, but we still got one of the best attractions."
Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, the plot of the ride, which is also, it seems more like a solo Star Wars story movie plot than an actual Star Wars canon plot. At least.
But keep in mind, we're not like gonna be around this countless times like Han Solo.
Yeah.
Where this is a one-time thing. We're just doing this to get our credits.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I'd want to be a smuggler for the. You know why? Because that would make the attraction more like fun for you. You're like, okay, I'm doing this to get my credits. I don't have a stable job. I'm not fighting for the Resistance. I'm not fighting for the Resistance or the First Order. I'm just doing this to get by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just doing it to make a living. But the ride itself is very, 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 very good.
Yeah. And you don't even get. Apparently, it's hard to get motion sickness because especially for engineer, because you're countlessly looking to the side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're looking to see what's flashing, so you can just press it.
But at the same time, that's another reason why I don't want engineer first, maybe second, because I want to experience the ride for the first part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think And yeah, engineer would probably be the one where you're getting the least motion sick. I think not pilot, but I think gunner would be the one where you get most motion sick.
Because you don't even have to look down. You just have to. You could literally look straight ahead and press the button without looking.
Yeah. That's just why you get more motion sick, because with pilot, you might have to look down to pull a lever, press a button to, activate the boosters or go to light speed or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, still a great ride. I mean, it looks just fantastic. I mean, I would prefer it over Star Tours, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I
think now that Galaxy's Edge is open, Star Tours is probably gonna die.
Yeah, which is kind of good because I like the I like the attraction.
Yeah. So is that pretty much all that we want to talk about, and then we'll talk about our thoughts?
Yeah. Do you want to just kind of go into more depth for like engineer, because we didn't really talk about that as much?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so like with the engineer, so the ride plot, because this is where engineer comes in, is like you've been recruited by, is it Hondo? It's Hondo, yeah.
I just remember it's a mix of
Hondo
and Lando and Han.
Yeah. So you're recruited by him to steal this coaxium off of an Imperial train.
Imperial freight train.
Yeah, on what's the planet?
I can't remember.
Yeah, whatever, on some random planet. So you go from Batu, you go into light speed, then you have to. So the pilots have to keep the Falcon steady with the train. The gunners have to shoot down TIE fighters. And shoot the train. And then the engineers are possibly the most important one. In all of this, they're the ones that are like pressing the buttons to heal the Falcons. And then also pressing the button for the tow cables to actually take the coaxium off of the train. And then that coaxium will be used for the resistance.
And as the point I made earlier, how jerks can be messing around. At the same time, I just realized I don't know if they will, because correct me if I'm wrong, but the ride gets the better you do, the longer your ride experience can be.
Yeah, the better you do, the longer it is. I think.
Yeah, I think the most is like 5 minutes though.
Yeah, I mean they're still gonna have to keep it short because there's only 2 cockpits running, right? Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
So.
But I gotta say, the cast members, they do get you in fast.
Yeah, they're always filtering people.
And the attraction does start at the pre-show.
Oh yeah, I mean that's where you get immersed.
And then you lead, and then it keeps going. So you're really in the attraction for a while, because the pre-show, then you wait in a smaller line inside the Falcon, and then you get into the actual main belly of the Falcon.
Yeah. So is that everything we want to talk about?
I think
so. All right, so let's go into our thoughts. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
All right. This is a great land. It's probably my favorite Disneyland land, even though I haven't been there, of course. Just the way that they've done everything is beautiful. I mean, the architecture, the peaks, the mountains behind the actual land, the pathways, every little detail is great. And I can't wait for Rise to come in, because I can tell Rise is definitely going to be something special after seeing Smuggler's Run and what they've done, because I was going to think Smuggler's Run was more of you're actually hopping on the Falcon and then you just drive it. It's not like you're being recruited for a mission that's vital to the Resistance and just so much stuff. And with that, Rise is definitely going to be something special. And I don't know, but
it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a continuation of Smuggler's Run. That would be insane.
So
just imagine that they bring you in for collecting the parts, and all of a sudden, and then you get brought onto the mission because you helped
That'd be
them.
awesome. Yeah, that'd be sick.
Disney, if you're hearing this, you could use this idea if you hire me.
Yeah. But the everything, every last detail from the shops to even just the lightsabers, Droid Depot, even though it might be overpriced, it might be expensive, it's definitely worth it. Make sure you tell the stormtroopers that they have horrible aim because they do. And it looks great. Can't wait to go next January. And yeah, it's my favorite Disneyland land just off of the videos.
Yeah. I, as well, think it will be my favorite Disneyland land. I thought, based on theming, I thought it was going to be Star Tour. I'm not Star Tour, sorry. I thought it was going to be Cars Land. I got Star Wars on my mind now. And then, based on rides, I was going to say Tomorrowland, because I really enjoy Star Tours there. That's what I was saying it for. Star Tours and Space Mountain. And even Astro Blasters I like. And, but no, let's just mush it all together. They got the good rides. They got the insane actual ride. The immersion is insane. I just can't wait to go. And I've heard, yeah, there's no sightline issues. There's one that I'll talk about soon, but you feel like you're in a whole nother planet. And this one sightline issue isn't even that bad. You saw the thing from Big Thunder Mountain. That looks like a normal mountain from the background anyway.
Yeah, it still looks natural.
It's not even something that's like crazy. Like you're like, oh, hey look, it's the hey look, it's a palm tree. Why is that there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so no complaints here, and not that overpriced in my opinion. Like, if you don't count experience as part of the money, as what part of the money is going to, then first of all, why are you paying for Disneyland? Because that's part of the ticket's price. You're going for the experience as well, and second of all, that just if you haven't seen it, and you don't know what we're talking about, and you don't want it spoiled, check out the lightsaber workshop. You will not be disappointed in it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So, do you want to talk about the actual story of Galaxy's Edge quickly?
Yeah. Okay. I'll do a quick story time. So, as I said before, it makes it better, in my opinion, if you do all the stuff. Obviously, if you don't have the money to get a lightsaber, or something like that, don't worry about it. But try and at least use the app to build your character. So you could either be Resistance, First Order, or Smuggler. Smuggler would be the best, in my opinion. So this is a place where the Resistance is hiding on. So that's why they have the small outpost out back near Rise of the Resistance. And it's a controlled planet by the First Order. That's why they have all the big stores, and Resistance doesn't have anything, pretty much. So, and that's why the cast members will rush you into the lightsaber workshop, because they don't want stormtroopers to see you. They want you it to be like, hey, look, this isn't allowed. Like most Star Wars movies, they don't want Jedis there, right? So you can either be a rule breaker or you could be a rule follower. And if you're a smuggler, it's even better for Smuggler's Run, because this is just you trying to get credits. You're trying to get by in this planet as well as you can. So the story is basically you're the main hero / villain, however you want to portray yourself, and you get to make your own story. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. One question for you, though, before we end this.
Okay.
What are you going to call it? Because there's 3 names, of course. They got Batuu, they got Black Spire Outpost, and they got Galaxy's Edge. I think I'm going to call it more Galaxy's Edge, then Black Spire, and then Batuu, just because Galaxy's Edge is the land's name, and Black Spire just sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I think depending on when you go, they'll probably call it Black Spire because that's what they say in the Savvy Workshop. I think I'll call it more Galaxy's Edge though, just because that's the actual land name.
Yeah. But... unless if I'm talking to like a cast member or something, because like they're probably if you see a cast member, because all the cast members that aren't in Stormtrooper costume, they're all working for the Resistance, so they'll probably say, "Hey, welcome to Black Spire," or "Hey, welcome to Batuu," and then they'll ask you a question. If you're like they ask you a question in code and you can answer if you're a Resistance or First Order. Like if you're in the cantina, would you get a drink right away, or would you resist to get it right away? And then you answer. Then yeah.
All right.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is neat. So yeah, let us know what you guys think about Galaxy's Edge. Send us an email to tdspodcast1@gmail.com. We'll not stop plugging that.
No.
And
also, YouTube, the Disneyland Show, like most other things.
Yep. We'll have some special stuff coming out on there this summer.
Yeah, probably starting
probably July.
After we finish exam season.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, those are next week.
No, because we have the first week off.
No, we have 2 exams, right?
We'll discuss this later. They don't have to hear it.
So thanks for listening. Let us know what you guys think about Galaxy's Edge, and we'll hopefully see you in the next Disneyland episode. All right.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.